this whole time when I was extracting these pieces out of the cylinder, I was in contact with Streamline, and long story short, I talked to Anthony over there, and he said that that if need be, they will support their rebuild if there is a need to rebuild this engine, since it's their product that caused the damage. So I'm very thankful that they did not try to just dodge the bullet and basically blame it on something else. I mean, obviously this was their corporate. So I told him that, you know, let's just try to extract these pieces first, and then once they're extracted and I'll be able to start the engine, we'll take it from there and see what needs to be done. But in the meantime, I did, as you see behind me, I did receive the second airbox, the replacement airbox, should I say. As you see, I have two airboxes here. I will do another video on this because the issues that this airbox had are totally resolved on this one, and this basically is bulletproof right now, so nothing like this should happen on this airbox. But I'm not gonna go into detail in this video. I'm gonna quickly install it, and I want to just see if the car starts. But I mean, as I mentioned before, I talked to Anthony prior to all this happening, because this airbox had a small issue in the beginning where this port basically broke off, and I already had a order or a replacement. They were working on a replacement airbox for me before even this damage to the trumpets happened. Anthony also mentioned, because I talked to him about, you know, what if other people have this airbox with these trumpets, and you know, same thing could happen to them. He said that the trumpets that I received, this mold of these trumpets were used in two boxes, mine and one other guy, and he's gonna contact the other guy just to be safe and replace his airbox as well. But what he said is the mold, that the material that they use initially, because mine is one of the first ones with these trumpets that they were producing, it's too stiff, and due to vibration the glue disintegrates, and that's why it broke off. So I know there's quite a few guys, you guys have these boxes with I believe with these plastic trumpets. What he advised me, at least, is the molds that were done after my airbox with the plastic trumpets. I have a different sort of material on them, so that shouldn't be an issue. I'm just relating what he advised me. So I had an airbox on the way, and so it happened in the same time. This additional failure happened while this was already en route. That's why you see there's tape on here on top, because this was broken off, and I basically glued it on just to keep it for the time being until the new airbox arrive. But this will not happen on the new one, because these are metal now, and they're double secured. They have a locking knot here as well. They're secured from underneath as well, which I'll show you when I'll do an overview of this new improved airbox. But it still looks phenomenal. The finish is superb, I must say. But enough of that. What I'm interested in now is if this starts, and if there's any damages that can be seen, or additional noises, and time will tell. So let me just put this in real quick. Let's get it going. Got the airbox in. I didn't clamp it down. That should be fine for now. I just want to start it and see if this even is gonna work. So yeah, here comes the moment of truth. I'm gonna get inside the car and try to start it up and see if there's any odd noises. coming from the engine, or even if it starts, you know, maybe it won't start at all. So let's see. Here it is, moment of truth. It's running so far. Nothing odd I'm hearing. Valve train seems have a normal sound. Wow, if nothing happened, then I'm like, this must have been a miracle. Let's have it idle for a little bit till it warms up, and then I'll do I'll drive around the block and see. So far, I think it's okay. I'm gonna take it for a spin. I'm gonna move it around. I'm gonna move it back and forth. I don't want to drive with it because the airbox is not clamped on. Had it idle for a bit more. I took it for another spin around my street, and so far so good. There's no abnormal noises that I could pick up from the engine. One thing I do is like it has a weird smell. I'm not sure if there's any maybe plastic deposit inside, or if it's the new carbon airbox that it's curing basically, because it warmed up, and maybe it's fully curing. I'm not sure. I guess the clear coat, it has that smell of like a plasticky, or it smells like you painted something recently and it's basically evaporating, that type of smell. So I'm not sure if it's from the inside, any deposit inside the chamber that's burning off, or is it actually the airbox. But so far so good. I did get 2 codes though for the throttle position sensors, this one and the bottom one. So I'm not sure if they're shot because of what happened when that piece got wedged in between the throttle body. Then there was no response because that was not there before, and now I got these 2 codes. So I cleared it. I'm gonna drive some more and see if they come back. If not, then I'll probably have to replace the sensors. So we'll see, time will tell. But as far as mechanical things go, it sounds okay. So I'm gonna take off the airbox and inspect the inside of the throttle bodies again, and then I'm gonna do a compression test once I drive it some more, make sure that the compression is even across all cylinders. Frankly, I did the compression test not too while ago, so I know they were pretty much even when I did it like 3 months ago. So should be pretty even now if nothing is wrong, you know. So we'll see. I took off the airbox and I examined the throttle bodies inside again, and everything looks okay. So I'm hoping for the best now. I reinstalled everything, I clamped it down now, and everything is nice and secure. And I also replaced both of these sensors, this one and the bottom one. I didn't bother recording that because that's pretty straightforward. But I secured the airbox, and now I'm just gonna place the new sticker on here like so. I just have to make the measurements, and I'll button everything up, and then I'll do few long drives just so the engine basically burns through any leftover deposit that might be inside there. Got the decal nicely installed. Looks OE, and the snorkel as well. Everything fits. So now I'm gonna just drive it a bit, and then we're gonna do a final compression test and see if there's any obvious signs of damage. But from so far from driving it does not appear so. It pulls very hard, so I'm hoping for the best. So let's take it for a drive. Woo! Damn, that sounds good. I haven't heard that sound in a long time. Oh, she still rips. Good to have it back on the road. Man, that sounds phenomenal. That was a nice drive. So the engine is nice and hot. I'm gonna do a compression test real quick, and we'll see if there's any variance in the readings between the cylinders. I'm gonna be using the same gauge I used last time. I also have another one just to see if there's any difference between the gauge readings, for that matter. If you remember from my last video, I used this one, which was the local rent-a-tool gauge. I don't know how accurate that is, and this is, I guess, supposedly a little better quality. So we'll see if there's any difference between these two once I start measuring. Let me take out the coils, take out the fuse for the fuel pump, so there's no fuel being dumped into the cylinders, and let's get to testing. Let me demonstrate you the difference again between a good gauge and a shitty one from your local rent-a-tool place. Yeah, this is, I didn't realize how bad this was, but I got a apples to apples comparison now, and yeah, don't ever do this. Alright, check it out. Let's crank it. We got just 175 on the dot. Now let's take the other one and do the same thing. We got this gauge and see what's the difference between a good one and a crappy one from your local rented tool place. This one is showing 60 psi. Yeah, if this was 60 psi, yeah, the engine would not be running. So as you see, the difference is tremendous, and I should have not done the test at first using this gauge a couple months ago, if you saw that video, because if you remember back then, it was reading 150 across almost all the cylinders. It wasn't accurate, but what it did tell me is even though it was showing 150, it was the same across all cylinders, so that I knew then that at least, you know, that each cylinder is showing the same compression numbers, even though it seemed a little low on this gauge. So yeah, guys, don't use this rented tool crappy gauge, because it just will give you false readings, and you're not gonna accomplish anything using these. All right, so here's a moment of truth. This is the numbers that I read across all cylinders, which I'm relieved to say they look pretty damn good. Cylinder 1, 175, 2, same thing, 3 and 4, 176, and then 5 and 6, 173. So mainly I was concerned about this one, cylinder 4, because if you guys remember, that's where all the particles from the trumpet were, and that was the suspected cylinder that might have damage, but it's actually reading on a higher scale, so I'm relieved. This is very good, and looks these numbers aren't the highest, but they are very well within the specs for the S54 engine. So I'm very pleased with the outcome of this. Wow, guys, what a relief! This is a major win for me. We're looking at a possible rebuild, and as it turned out, the engine is still pretty healthy, and everything is fine. Boy, this 2020 was one hell of a year. First, we got the cams that were destroyed, now the airbox, and we managed what it looks like to dodge the bullet, and the engine is still strong and running. What a relief. I mean, well, I can focus on other projects now. I don't have to rebuild the engine, so that's a good thing. Now, in terms of the airbox, everything is looking good. Streamline, or Hymas Racing for that matter, has improved the design of the ports, the vacuum ports. So basically you have to just tear a hole here to get these out, because they're double secure. They have a nut on top, so that took care of the issue that they had with it before. And the trumpets, as I showed you before, are now carbon fiber as well, so they should not have this issue that I have encountered. I mean, I don't want to cause any drama out there. I just wanted to show you my story, and this is what I went through. I mean, frankly, they did provide support to me, and they did offer a rebuild assistance if need be. It doesn't appear so, because it's reading strong numbers. I want to thank them though. They did cover the replacement cost of the throttle position sensors, both of them, so that was nice of them. They did own up to this mistake, and I think that's what counts. I mean, that's unfortunate what happened, but what are you gonna do? I mean, I know there's airboxes out there as well that have other issues. There's another company that has airbox out there right now that had the same issue with the ports. A couple people reporting that the ports broke off on them as well. So I mean, this is my story, and this is what I went through. I just want to say thank you to Streamline for not backing out or dodging the bullet. What counts is that they did provide support, and I'm thankful for that. and like I mentioned, they did cover the cost of the sensors. So with that being said, I'm just gonna basically button everything up, put the filter housing, the strap bar, and we get you know, get to enjoy this this beautiful sounding CSL Airbox again. With that being said, stay tuned for upcoming videos, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.